I'm working on a case study with niche website builders, publishing 200,000 words, about 180 articles over the course of 4 months. I am tracking the results, and I recently published an update because I published 86 posts and got 3,200 visitors to those pages over the course of about 6 weeks. And I created this custom report so I could track the exact posts, the exact URLs. And a lot of people wanted to see how I created such a report. I'm going to go through it in real time here, hopefully quickly, and you'll be able to get a report kind of like this for yourself and see exactly, how much traffic is showing up on certain posts. It's especially effective if you are like me in this site that I was posting the 86 articles. It already had like 230 posts already. So it would be really hard for me just to look at the analytics and look and try and find the specific post that I just published. So I created this report to go through it in a very careful way. So I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you the perhaps inefficient way that I did it, but it should get you there. Now, if you want to get some background information, please check out the other posts in this series. If you want to get more information, there's a podcast, there's a couple YouTube videos as well. Sometimes I talk about how quick the post index after I publish them. And we're just going to go over a quick example here with Niche Site Project. So one of the easiest ways, and the way I did this, is I headed over to my site map. So this XML sitemap is from Rank Math. It's generated through the SEO plugin. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pick some of these most recently published posts here. And those are the ones we're going to use. If you're doing what I'm doing with my case study, you will probably have recently published posts, and those are the ones you want to track. Otherwise, you could cherry pick them if you want to track certain posts. So I'm just going to pick a handful here, copy them. I'm going to hop over to Google Sheets. So this is just a blank sheet. I'm going to use a formula so I can pull out the exact data that I want. So I'm just going to paste it in here. Of course, there's not much information in here. We really only care about the URL. Now, I'm not going to do the blog. I'll go ahead and take that one out of there. And you could do the same, right? You could cherry pick and find the exact post that you want to work with. So what I want is to get rid of the first part of the URL. I want to get rid of the domain name, and I just want the slug at the end. So you can use some formulas to go through this. There's a lot of ways to approach it. This specific formula, I'm just doing some text manipulation. So I'm just going to copy this in, and we have right. We're using a length, and we're subtracting some of the number of characters. So the specifics don't matter. What you're going to have to do is figure out the right way to approach this for yourself. So in this case, I'm going to have to change some of the formula because we're essentially using A2, and then A2 will also be the reference here. If you don't know how to do formulas, that's beyond the scope of what we're teaching right here. And you can see I've gotten rid of a portion of the URL, but not all of it. So all I need to do is hop up here to the formula bar, and then I can figure out the right number of characters. So let's get rid of some more characters. I didn't count them. This is how sloppy I'm doing it. So now I can see there's about 8 left. So we'll put 28 in here, and hopefully we'll end up with what we hope for. Okay, so this is pretty good. We have the leading slash, so we can get rid of that as well. So we'll just have 29. And then we have exactly what we want. Now, the cool part is once you figure it out, you could just drag it down. So we have exactly what we want for each one of the URLs. So now what we can do is copy and paste these into their own cell. So I'm just going to paste them in here. And what we're going to do is a little sloppy. Like I said, this is perhaps not the best way to do it, but it gets the job done. So I'm just going to hit backspace, get rid of this slash, and then put a pipe sign. That's the vertical line. And I'm going to do that for each one of these. Again, I'm just going to do this in real time. Nothing fancy here, just a brute force way to sort through these. And what we're creating for people that are a little bit on the CS side, we're using a regular expression to filter. And I'll show you how to set up the custom report in just a second. But this is the string that we need. So I'm just going to select everything. I'm going to copy it. And then we're going to head over here to analytics. So this is niche site project analytics. And I could just click on customization, custom reports. We're going to create a new custom report here. And I'll just leave the name as default here. We need some metrics to track. So you could put whatever you want in here. Pretty simple to just take a lot of the commonly used ones, right? They're commonly used for a reason. They're potentially some of the most important data that you can get. So we'll just use those as a starting point, and this will be perfect so we can get some data. And then we'll head over to the dimension. So this is important. Again, it's pretty, there's a lot of ways to do it, but we're going to look at landing pages here. Then this is the important part. You set up the filter. And again, we're going to filter on the landing page because that is the dimension drill down that we're using. We're going to include the landing page, and we're going to select regx, which is a regular expression, and then we're just going to paste in what we just created over there. One little tip is to add another filter where you also filter on the landing page, but we're going to exclude anything that has a question mark in it, because sometimes those are like search strings or some other URL that you don't want to include. So I'm just going to put that in there, and the view, one selected view is fine. And then I'm going to click save. And then here's our report. And the cool thing is all the data has already been gathered. All right. So all the data is existing. So you can just go back in time, and it just creates a filter. So you're looking at just the posts that matter. So just the posts that you care about. And you can see here that we have 12 on here. Occasionally something with that we didn't intend sneaks through, and then you could filter that out if you want. So very clearly here we can see, these posts got certain traffic. We can track things, and we could actually add secondary dimensions and so on. So please like this video if you found it helpful. Leave a comment if you have a question, and please check out the other videos in this series dealing with niche website builders and the 200K publishing sprint. I'm Doug Cunnington. You can find more information over at Niche Site Project. Please subscribe to the channel. There's a ton of success stories, and I do live streams each week. So thanks a lot.